Hey guys, Dieter Melhorn here. How you doing? Hope everybody is having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. I know I am. I'm on Lake Wateree, dragging some baits. Out here trying to put some catfish in the boat. Put 8 in the boat so far. Not bad. Fishing's decent. A lot of small fish. I had one fish around 13 pounds. The one highlight is shad. Shad were easy to come by. I made 3 throws of the net and put 5 dozen in the boat. So when I can catch 5 dozen gizzard shad throwing a net, it's good net throwing. So anyway, and that's what I'm fishing with. I've got some brim and some perch with me, but I'm just using the shad for now since they're so abundant. I'll show you how many I got here. I got a pile of them. Let me see where my little thing is here, the flipper, and I can't see anything in the sun. Here it is, about 2.5 dozen, 3 dozen per bag. It's a pile of them. It's good times, good times, good times. I am in the Colonel Creek area right now. I started up around June Creek. That's where I put the boat in. I got about 8 in the boat. Like I said, I'm just dragging, pulling 6 rods, 2 one-planer boards, 2 straight back. Coming up into an area, starting in a little creek here. There's a lot of bait in the creeks right now, and in the coves. Just a good amount of bait. It's stacked up. All decent size gizzard shad. I'm fishing some pieces and some whole gizzard shad filleted open. I call it a Polish fillet. I cut the tail off, go at the back, and cut forward, and that's how I hold them out. So it's kind of what's going on down here. It's not bad. I'm going to hopefully be here for a couple of days. But there is one caveat. The wife thinks she may have a kidney stone. And if that's the case, I may be having to leave. So anyway, we'll see what happens. If it's not one thing, it's another. That's life. Let's see if we got somebody saying something there. Coming into the screen. Made it, Muddy River. Hey, Tiffany. And oh, I see Chris Flores jumped into the feed here from Muddy River Catfishing. I see all you guys are out in Memphis for the big tournament Saturday. Good luck to you. Be safe out there. Have a great time. I will not be there. I am kicked it around, thought about it, and said I'm going to stay on the East Coast. So anyway, won't make it. So I hate that. I wanted to come, but I had that shoot that ran late yesterday. I would have had to fly out today and have to be back this weekend. So it just didn't work out. So anyway, good luck to all you guys out there. Hopefully, Chris Flores will be going live. Hopefully, some other folks out there, Chat Cats and some other people will be going live to give us some play-by-play action on what's going on. Speaking of play-by-play, I think I'm getting bit. I think I got a small fish on a rod. Here's going to be the bad part, guys. The sun is right behind me. The sun is setting. I hope you can see me. I'm going to try something here. Hang on. Pages. Sonar. Enter. Show you what we're dragging through. Just see. There's some life down there, isn't there? Here. Yes, I'm a little bit lackadaisic about getting these fish in. Let me see what I got. See right there. Which one was it? I don't even know. Yeah, there's a fish on that one. So, I had fished out on the main lake around some of the river channels and picked off some fish. I fished for about, let me adjust the camera, for about 3 hours, put 8 fish in the boat, 2.5 hours, something like that. I figured since there was so much bait back here in the creek and these coves that I would come into one of these coves and drag my way out. I think I got a fish. I think it's a small fish if it is. Yep, he's there, and I got a, nah, that one's not a fish. I'm going to nurse him in so we don't lose him. This one is going to make a mess. He looks like he's gill hooked. Easy, easy, simmer down. I'm gonna have to do surgery on this fish. Anyway, there he is, a channel cat. Boone pliers. If I could get an endorsement deal with these guys, I would. Best pliers made. Especially when you're having to do surgery on the fish. Like I'm doing. Oh, missed him. Get him. Yeah. Got him. Yeah, he's bleeding a little bit. Not good. But, I'll get him back in the water quickly. A lot of good stuff on the sonar. A lot of stuff moving around down there. Is it catfish? Is it stripers? Nobody knows. As Mac Barron would say, only the shadow knows. We'll see what it is. That was a catfish, and that was number 9. Bam. Bear with me, I'm going to get a bait on here. Just so you know, same deal as always. Santee rig, slinky weight. Woohoo, see it's slinky. Cork, and it's probably about a number 7 hook. A chunk of head on this one. Oh, gizzard shad head. Hey, Mr. Gizzard Shad. Get it in the water. Alright. Let me get you guys to where you can actually see me again. Alright. There we go. Take my sunglasses off so I can see what the heck y'all are saying. In about 3 minutes, somebody remind me to go flip that reel and knock it into gear. Okay, thank you. See if there's any comments here on the side. Casey asked, what's the tip of the day? What's the tip of the day? Good question, Casey. Tip of the day, right now, on the lakes that I'm fishing, especially here on Wateree, and just by the way, they're having the Cabela's King Cat Classic here, first weekend of October. So, I know there's already some guys pre-fishing for that, which I think is a little bit silly. But, because this is not a lake that you can really narrow down too much on. But anyway, tip of the day here, fish are scattered. If you catch a bunch of little ones, move on if you're fishing for big fish, especially on this lake. If you get into a lot of small fish, the bigger fish are not around. I don't know why that is. I don't know if they're solitary creatures. I don't know if they have their own little places. They just like being away from those aggravating things. But almost every big fish I've caught, and I'm sitting here trying to think, has been either usually when I'm not catching a lot of fish, is the bottom line. There's not a lot of fish around. So there's your tip of the day. Cover some water if you want to catch big fish. Leave little ones. As horrible as that sounds, and it's old Indian adage, don't leave biting fish because you will be cursed to never catch them again. They take it as an insult. Sometimes that's what you got to do to find bigger fish. I got a better tip of the day for you. I'll think of something better. Let me knock this in gear real quick. And matter of fact, you know what? I'll take y'all with me. I'll take y'all with me, show you setup action. There's a planer board out there. It's not out far enough. So what I want to do, knock that in, let that one go loose for a minute. The one I just put in the water is right there, still spinning offline. Knock it in gear. Same setup, y'all have seen it before. Got 3 rods out on this side, 3 rods out on that side. That one goes straight out the back. This one here stretches out there about 7 feet, being the big cat fever rod. Then I got that one there, and that rod holder sticking up at the steep angle. It's got a planer board, which gives me an even wider spread. So, pretty nice little wide setup. I kind of updated what I've done from what I used to have. I still got these back here in the back, which I generally would be using more anchoring up. It's just, I could fish more rods if I wanted to. Probably should have brought more with me, but I didn't. So I'm just fishing 6. It is what it is. You can catch fish with them. Put out 2 more rods. I don't know that it increases your odds anymore. So anyway, that's kind of what's what the deal is so far here. Let's see what other little questions we got in here. Let's see what we got here. Have you tried a chumback? Somebody asked if I tried a chumback. I'll tell you what I used to do. I used to do something. It wasn't a bag. I would take the carcasses of like white perch and bass that I filleted the sides off of, and would put those down and hang them off. Basically, it was a stringer is what it was. Let me plug this back in. It was a stringer that you used to put string fish in the old days. I always kept them as a backup for tournaments. But I would hang one of those off the side, and as I was trolling, it didn't hurt anything. I caught fish. I didn't see anything super, super big leap change in the bite and how many fish I caught. But there's really nothing you can do, this is my belief, that will all of a sudden make fishing so much greater than it's ever been before. So there's some things you can do, whether it be chumming, using rattles, whatever. They can make your fishing a little bit better. I think everything you do is an incremental increase. I don't think there's any big cure-all that's gonna just boom, all of a sudden I'm catching monster catfish and more of them and all that. I think little things you can do are incremental. I do know this: when you can chum up holes for catfish, you can put out bags of, I'm looking at a rod that whenever, you can put out bags of corn, dog food, all kinds of stuff in the water. And I've tried it before. Usually it brings in a lot of smaller catfish. So not that big catfish won't be in there, but I think the little ones come in because it's easy feeding. I don't know that big fish necessarily come in for easy feeding. Not that you can't catch them, but I think it's a great way to catch fish. You want to go chum, use corn, whatever. I think it's a great way to bring in small fish, eater-sized fish, especially you want to bait up a place where you can just go out and fill a cooler, have a cookout, teach the kids how to set a hook and all that kind of stuff. I think it works good for that. Somebody asked about the rattles. Rattles are working great. I put them on the rod. Y'all don't know what the rattles are. Some people, I got to make sure everybody knows because I've learned so. Well, what did I do with them? I had them out a minute ago because I was putting some on another rod. I think I stuck them back into my cooler here, or into my bait thingy. Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. You stare at the top of my head. Well, they're somewhere in there. Where did I put them? They're somewhere around here. Anyway, they come in a pack like this from Hooker's Terminal Tackle. And I'll show you one in a minute. I used one a minute ago, broke off a rig and put another one on. They work good. It's still in that 65% range. About 65% of my hookups are coming on the rattles. So definitely nothing against them. They definitely help. And I noticed in the feed that Country Girl said, was that Country? Who was it? I couldn't read who that was. Yep, Country Girl Catfishing. Chimed in the feed and said cow feed. And yep, that's another one. Pretty much anything that will sour supposedly works pretty good. So, but I don't do it. I'll be honest with you. I've got a little bit of ADD. And I'd like fishing in different places. And if I baited up a place, I'd probably want to sit there all day and fish it. So I'd rather be able to move around and hopscotch around. So for any of you guys that are coming to fish the Cabela's King Cat, I know everybody's focused on the Memphis tournament right now. Not everybody's fishing that. There are a lot of boats, though. I heard there was over 100 boats there, so that's cool. Really wish I could be there. Anyway, I'm sad. The Cabela's tournament here is going to be fishing out of down that way, out of Clearwater is where it's out of. This is about a 13,000 acre lake. It's got one river that feeds it. Current's intermittent. Generally that time of the year, if you're going to get any current, it's going to be in the afternoon. There's a good river section where a lot of big fish have been caught. The lake tournament record for 3 fish, 129 pounds, was caught up there. Now, the one catch there is it was caught in, I want to say February. It was in the winter. They pull water in the morning in the winter. So it's a gamble if you go up there to catch fish this time of the year. So the last few tournaments have been one dragging baits mid-lake, It's been around a 20-pound average. I think it's going to be the same this year. 10 fish on this lake. If you've got 20 to 21-pound average, I think you'll be doing pretty dang good. I think when we fished it one year, we were around 17 pounds, something like that, and I think we were 7th. So that kind of shows you where it's at. You're going to have a lot of people right there in that. Everybody from 5th through 10th or 11th was all right there within 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds of each other. So it's if I was fishing, I'd have perch. That would be my bet on bait. It just seems like stuff starts to change over to perch that time of the year. I'm just stepping over to take a look at my sonar, see where I'm at. Okay. But it can't hurt to have shad. There's a lot of shad in this lake. So I definitely come equipped with both. Lots of ramps, lots of different places. The only thing is there's no bridge that crosses this lake. So you were stuck. If you put in somewhere on the west side of the lake, you were stuck going all the way to the extreme north end of the lake to get over to the other side to come down to where the weigh-in is. So that's one of the downsides to it. So just a little info on the lake. So yeah, if I was fishing it, I was fishing a tournament, I'd be mid-lake. I'd be pretty much between, I'd be from the ramp north to about June Creek. That would be my bet. So yeah, let me know. Send me a message down here in the comment section. Let me know who's going to be coming out for the tournament. I think I'm trying to think of where I'm at that weekend. I want to say Talladega. I think that's where the race is that weekend, so I won't be around. Or is it Charlotte? I think it's Charlotte that weekend, so won't be around. Maybe I can make it down. No, I won't. I'm not even going to kid myself. I was saying maybe I could make it down for the weigh-in or something, but I won't be able to. It's just too bad. It would be great to see everybody, but that's, I'll take the guaranteed paycheck over to gamble. Is chumming, somebody's asking, is chumming illegal in some states? I've heard it's been illegal. I do not know if chumming is illegal in some states. I would bet it is, and I would bet if it's illegal anywhere, it's in Minnesota. If we had Luke on here from Northwoods Angling, he would know. Minnesota's got a lot of tough laws. I think you can only fish with 1 rod per person up there, and I don't think you can use bluegill up there. They've got some pretty tough laws up there. So it's legal here. You can do it here in North Carolina and South Carolina. So that's not saying a lot. You can do about anything in South Carolina. There's parts of North Carolina you can still shock for catfish. So it's the Carolinas is not known for their progressive management of the catfish species. So that kind of is what it is. To bring you guys up to date, I know a lot of new people have jumped in here. I'm trying to get out of the sun, but there ain't no way to do it. I'm fishing on Lake Wateree, which is in South Carolina. It's between Columbia and Charlotte. It's about a 13,000-acre lake. Predominantly blue cats in here. I think the biggest I've seen weighed in, actually weighed in a tournament, 70-ish. There are a few flatheads. There was a tournament this past weekend, and there were several flatheads weighed in. We're starting to get some in here. There have been some, as I call them, the miraculous transplants from probably Lake Wylie and Santee Cooper that are starting to make their way in here. And it will be interesting to see what happens with that species of catfish over the next 10 years, because there's a lot of crappie in this lake. There's a lot of bait in this lake. There's a lot of forage. There's a lot of crappie in this lake. I go back to the crappie because flatheads love to eat crappie. Crappie, as you call it in other parts of the country. I don't know where the line is where they become crappie from crappie, but we call them crappie down here. So crappie, as they say in the proper speaking English parts of the country. But so yeah, that's what's in this lake. It's mainly blues. It's probably the average depth's around 22 feet, 22, 23, 24 feet. I think there may be some 50-some foot water down at the dam. It's not a very deep lake. Lots of little feeder creeks. Like I said, only one river that feeds it. And it's a very nice fishery. It is not very crowded. There are houses on here. A lot of these houses you see behind me are summer houses, and it's just people that live here as a second home. During the week, it's basically empty. So anyway, it's a nice lake, nice reservoir. It's a little bit further away than my home lake, so this way you don't see me out here much, but I usually try to get down here more in the wintertime. My personal best out of mine's only in the 50s. I've caught several in the 50s. My son, the boat record is 60 pounds, 4 ounces, 11 ounces, whatever it was. My son caught it a few years ago on New Year's Day, and that's the boat record. We finally got one in the boat over 60 pounds out of here. I don't know how many I've caught out of here that were 55, 56. I had a 58 one time, and he never could break the 60-pound mark, but he did it, so that's cool. So yeah, my hope is to be here for a couple of days fishing. Try to do a few of these live things, especially if I can get on a decent bite. This is the first time I've been out here in a while, so I'm kind of dialing in what's going on. But, like I was saying, my wife may have a kidney stone. So she's at home. She said stay there for now because they were planning on coming down tomorrow. We got a camper down here. Aluminum Love Palace. If you ever see the term Aluminum Love Palace, that's what we got down here, is a little camper. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. She's had those things before, and sometimes it's not a big deal, but it may be a big deal, so we'll see. Could be the end of my fishing. So, yeah, that's what it is. Somebody said, thanks for taking the time to share my adventure. I appreciate that. It's try to share the adventure and share a little knowledge, give a little info. May have a fish on. Let's see what we got here. Is there a fish on there? Oh, what do we got there? Wrong button. If it is, it's little. Let me winch on it for a second. Got some people over here on the bank wondering, what are you talking about? Hold on. Who are you talking to, man? I think it's gone. I think it's gone. It was biting like a perch. I'm going to reel it in and check bait. What happens on my fishing adventures when the camera gets involved is I don't pay close attention. I'm a bad angler when it comes to that. Yep, there you got it. Show y'all real quick. These are what the rattles look like. These are what the hooker's terminal tackle rattles look like. A little noise, and I keep them to where they bump right up against the peg on my peg float on my drift rig. So, little noise, little noise. Merry Christmas. Let me get a bait on here and cast this back out, and I'll come over here and ramble for a few more minutes. We may have another fish biting. We may have a fish on there. Let me see. Hey, that is a fish. You know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try moving the phone over here on this clamp so that you're not looking at me silhouetted. Let's see what we can do here. Pardon that noise. There's my clamp. Well, that's not going to work real well. Let's try this. Let's try to do this without dropping the phone in the lake. That would really be bad. How's that? Oh, yep, that's a fish. Bam! He's on back there. It's really horrible TV at that angle. I'm going to try to do better, people. I can do better. I can give you more for your viewing pleasure here, I think, maybe. No, I can't. It's not happening. It's not happening. See if that'll work. We're trying to catch fish. Most people would care a lot more. But I care about you guys. I want you to see the fish and the happenings. I want to be able to talk to you. Keep you entertained while I reel in this monster. I wish it was a monster. Alright, let me do the line dance here. Okay, it's clear, I think. There we go. act a little bit more silly when it's a big fish. Then I'll start getting concerned. Start dancing around acting stupid. See if I can flip this one in. Ooh, he's bigger than I thought. All right, hang on. Easy. Easy. You have got an 8-pound head. I can barely get my hands around an 8-pound fish's head. That's how I can tell. So, there he is. Boom! Nice blue. Not a monster, but we'll take it. Hello, world. Hello. I'm not going to a pay lake. I'm not going to a pay lake because I'm fishing with Dieter. Boom. Sorry for any, that's a pay lake joke. Some people will get it. Some people won't. And some people won't like it. That fish is swimming free like a Leonard Skinner song. All right, let me do this. It's the bait we're using. The shad de gizzard. I'll show you my fillet trick. What I do is I cut the tail off. Then the other side I go in and I cut it and fillet it backwards toward the front. Then I put it on the hook, like so. This is a trick that I taught Captain Daryl down on Santee, and he loves it. Put the hook through there. You got the little flappy. See there? See what we're doing? See what we're doing? Are we with us so far? You roll this sucker around. You hook it back through the eye. So it gives you makes a little bait, a little shad, a big shad. From a little shad to a big shad. Puts a lot of stink out there in the water too. So, that's how I do it. You know, when I taught Captain Daryl how to drift for catfish years ago, I showed him that technique for cutting bait. He has loved me ever since. And can you blame him? Get this back in the water before I tell any more lies. Let's see what we got here. Bam, like a boss. Let's that one spool out for a minute. Was that better if it wasn't silhouetted like that the whole time? So, where are we at, children? Where are we at, students? Let's see. Bam. Number 10. Nice. Good day. Good day. Let me get this back up here. This where it doesn't squeak at you. Took a fishing rod out of your face. That's got to be annoying. All right, I'm back. Where was I? Was our question, comment, call for law enforcement? Awesome. Okay, cool. Hope y'all enjoyed that. It was a little fish. My screen's starting to go dark. It usually does that when it gets hot. Sorry about that. Bring y'all up to date. People who may have come in late. And I repeat this, I know. So you guys that stay for this feed the whole time, I appreciate you putting up with it over and over, but there are a lot of people that come in late and they want to know what I'm doing, where I'm at. I'm on Lake Wateree, South Carolina, between Columbia and Charlotte, dragging for catfish. Got about 10 in the boat, been out here since, I think it was 3:34, I don't really remember. Netted a bunch of shad. Shad is very abundant right now. At least it was today. That's about 2 throws right there worth of shad. Can you see that? So, it's 2 throws in the net, and I threw 2 more times and got some more, so I got plenty of shad. So that's what I'm dragging today. Trying some stuff. All these shad are up in these coves in the mouth of these creeks right now. So that's where I'm fishing at. Dragging the baits around in there, and it's producing. Let me get back here. Flip this one in gear. It's been spooling line out. There we go. That's good. Beautiful sunset. Ooh, that's bright. Over there. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good fishing. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do this the rest of the week for a few days, the rest of the weekend, and we'll just see what happens. The wife may have a kidney stone, I told some people, so we'll see if she winds up in the hospital or something. So, otherwise, I plan to be out here for a little bit, try to get some time here on the water fishing, and teach you a little bit more about Lake Wateree. So, for now, I'm gonna jump on off of here. Please leave any comments or questions down below. It was hard for me to see your questions today because of the sun out here. It's really bright. I was trying to read them, saw a few, but now it's like bearing right in my face. So yeah, just leave any questions down there. I'll be back at the Aluminum Love Palace tonight reviewing them, and we'll try to answer them. And yeah, we'll try to do this some more this week. And look forward to seeing you guys on the water. If you liked the video, hit subscribe. And as always, if you want to, any of the stuff I fish with is on my website, DieterMelhornFishing.com, including the catfish apparel. Anytime you see a catfish link on my website, DieterMelhornFishing.com, just hit it, and that's where you can buy all your catfish stuff at. So that's it for now. I'm going to jump off, and we'll talk to you guys hopefully tomorrow.